Hello and welcome. You are watching Lux Tutorial. Today we are going to discuss about two important hearing that is going to happen on Wednesday, 17th of June in court. The first one is the ICSE and the ISC related issues that is going on in Bombay High Court. And the second case is being filed on CBSE board, and this case is being filed by four parents, basically three from Noida and one from New Delhi. They are against the class 12 examination which is going to be held on July first 2 weeks of July 2020. The case has been filed on 18th of May in the Supreme Court. The senior advocate Rishi Malhotra is representing the four petitioner, and both the CBSE through the chairperson and Ministry of HRD through its secretary is going to be there in this case. This case is filed on 10th of June and it draws strength mainly from the CBSE decision of taking the examination and the High Court specifically related to Telangana and Tamil Nadu, because in Telangana and Tamil Nadu the High Court has taken the decision not to conduct the examination. Moreover, because of this rising situation of the COVID-19 case, they have gathered strength and filed this case. Now let us discuss about the objection that is being put forward by these petitioners. Now let us discuss point one. Now, point one is totally related with the medical issues. We have seen that there is a rise in the COVID-19 situation day by day, and due to the rising situation, the guardians are very much concerned about the 12 lakh children who will be giving the examination. Now, according to the AIIMS director, the pandemic would be at its peak in July 2020. Now, let us discuss point two. More than 3 lakh positive cases has been registered across India. Now, there might be cases where the symptoms are not seen in the person, but they are getting affected. If 50% of these cases are there, then there might be possible that the person would be a very important carrier of COVID-19 situation. Now, if the symptoms are not seen, that means the dry cough, cold, fever symptoms are not seen, still the person is affected, then he might get in contact with the person who is not a positive carrier of COVID-19, and in this way there might be a huge number of cases and the child can get affected. This is point number two. Let us discuss point number three. The point number three is related to the physical discomfort of the students. Now in this time, that means mostly in the month of July, we have seen that monsoon has arrived. The monsoon is already there in South India. It will be arriving in North India also, and we will be seeing there will be monsoon, or the monsoon might arrive in those places. Now in this kind of situation, it will be very uneasy for the students to wear the mask for straight 3 hours. Moreover, there will be too much humidity in air, and it will be it will be very discomfort for the students to give the examination at that situation wearing the mask. Many of the students generally wear the hand gloves like that, so it will be very difficult time to give the examination, so it will be very uneasy for the student. Let us discuss point number four. Now in point number four, since we have it has been put forward by the CBSE Council that they will be increasing the number of exam centers from 3,000 to 15,000, ensuring the physical distance of the students so that this COVID-19 situation might not arise, taking all the safety precaution as well as the standard protocols that need to be followed for the situation over here. It has been put forward by the opposing, that means the petitioner, basically, that these things that the CBSE is doing is basically an exercise in fertility and an eyewash. This I'm quoting from the petition. Now let us discuss point number 5. The point number 5 says that since different institute have already cancelled the examination, like the Delhi University has cancelled the first year and the second year undergraduate examination of an undergraduate final examination. Even the IITs have also cancelled their examination, final examination. So why can't the CBSE do? In fact, the Telangana and Tamil Nadu has already cancelled the class 10 examination and promoted all the mass population into class 11. So the CBSE can also do so. Now let us discuss point number 6. Point number 6 says about the CBSE Council only, that the CBSE Council has already cancelled exams both of class 10 and the exams of class 12 of the 250 schools abroad affiliated to the CBSE Council. And in those cases, students from these 250 schools are promoted, or basically they are adopting the criteria that on the basis of practical and the assessment marks, that means the pre-boards as well as the assessment marks, they will be promoted and they will be given marks. That means they will be given the result on the basis of that. So why can't the CBSE Council can implement this in India? The question is that. Now let us discuss point number 7. Now, since Home Ministry has said that there should not be any exam in the containment zone, the question arises that what will happen if a guardian is, or if the student is basically there in the containment zone and it is not possible for the students to travel and go to those areas, or even if he travels from the areas where the containment zone is there and he travels to the schools where they are giving the exam centers, then he might carry the COVID-19 or he might carry the virus with him. So this is another question where we are thinking about the transportation, that how the guardians can travel, and it is really possible for the guardians to take private vehicles irrespective of the public transport in those situations, and it is really possible for all the guardians or not to travel through private vehicles. Now let us discuss point number 8. Point number 8 is about the Supreme Court and the High Court, because they are not at all functioning physically, they are functioning virtually, that means online. Now in this kind of situation, it is pretty much possible that the court will function online, because there will be huge gathering in court if the physical court start. But how can being online and discussing about the physical examination of the students is discussed virtually, and rather thinking about not being present in the physical situation and deciding on the of the students whether they are, it is possible for them to take the examination physically. This is the irony. And in the Supreme Court also, the bar councils had put forward to start the physical hearing, but the 7 Supreme Court judges did not agree to this decision, and they will be deciding on this decision at the end of June. Now these are the 8 different points that have been put forward in this scenario, and it might be possible that the decision would be taken in the favor of the guardian, because the Supreme Court has also voiced concern specifically in the areas of the containment zone, and specifically for Delhi, where corona positive cases are too huge. Now in this kind of situation, it might be possible that the exam might get cancelled. But if the exam get cancelled, then what are the options that are available? What are the options to evaluate the marks or to evaluate the future of the child? Now the guardians have put forward 2 major important points in this regard. Let us discuss that also. The first suggestion from the guardian side is that to cancel the examination and to allot marks on the internal basis, that means on the assessment of the schools, that we have already discussed. Now point number 2, The point number 2 says that to take the average of marks in the paper in which they have already appeared already, and to allocate the marks of the remaining papers accordingly. Now let me explain this part a bit clearly, that in if a student is getting like 70, if a student is getting like 60 out of 70 in the previous paper, then the paper that is already left, they will be just thinking about the average of these marks, and they will be putting forward in the paper that is already left, so that they can easily calculate, and this situation of conducting the physical examination should not arise. So that are the points that has been put forward in the Supreme Court. So stay tuned with Lux tutorial to know what happens in the Supreme Court and what is likely to be the fate of class 12 students who are going to appear for the final examination. That means the CBSE final board examination. Thank you very much for watching the video. Let's meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye.